So we've got some good news again. I should probably bring the mic over. There we go. So we've got some good news again. Google has made it much easier to include emoji when you are working on your Google Docs. Presently, before this, you could do it, but it took a little extra steps. And they have just made this so much easier. And while we're talking about things like emoji, I figure I'll also show you how you can add special characters. So what do you say? Should we get this party started? Yeah, definitely. Hello there. So, you know that I'm a big fan of all things Google. There's just so much that you can do with it. And I'm finding more and more people are finding things like Google Docs to be really helpful, especially with the change in the world over the past couple of years. Just the fact that you can have multiple people working on the document at the same time and see what's going on with each one, like that for me is a game changer. I use that with so many projects now, just because it just makes everybody more efficient. And there's really some handy hacks for it, like with the remote producing that I do. It's a great way to have the rest of the team giving their input on something while the event's going on or the stream is going on or whatever we're recording. So there's a lot of ways that you could use this if you just stop to think about it. But we're also at the point where we're very used to being able to communicate via emoji these days, right? And you could always do that in Google Docs, but it wasn't a simple process. You had to take extra steps in order to do that. The good news is that that has changed, and they have made it easier, really easy, to go ahead and get those emojis into your documents. Now, I know some people don't like emojis, and there's nothing I can do to help you once people have been already putting them in. So it's not like this is going to change anything. It's just going to make it easier, I guess. So you'll probably see more. And then I know that some people aren't aware that you can also add special characters pretty easy in Google Docs. So I'm going to show you that too, because it's kind of on the same topic, right? But for those of you who don't know, hello, my name is Kathleen. I'm here as your tech coach. Short version of the story is I do technology as my day gig. I design user interfaces for software applications and web applications. But it's also my hobby. Like, I live in the tech world. I'm fascinated by all the possibilities of it. So when people have questions, friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, they tended to come to me with questions. And over time, that has expanded to their family, friends, coworkers, neighbors. So it made it very clear to me that not everybody has somebody to talk to about this kind of stuff. So hello, this is why I'm here. You can always reach out to me at yourtechcoach.net if you have any questions, if you need help with anything. .com also works, by the way. So that's why I do this show, because not everybody has a techie that they can chat with. So now you do. You're all set. So let's talk about this one. So Google Docs are something that just about everybody has. You just really need your Google account for it and you're good to go. And it actually works for most of the things that you're probably traditionally used to using something like Microsoft Word for. But, any chance to not use a Microsoft product. But for those, like, I'm a Windows person, hardcore, but when it comes to like the Office suite, I could live without it. So the more I can do on Google Docs, Sheets, all that kind of stuff, the better. Now, I will say that what I'm going to show you is not active yet in things like Google Sheets and all of that. But of course, there's always a workaround. But we're just going to focus on the Google Docs right now, because really most of the people I'm working with these days, they're spending most of their lives in Google Docs, and maybe some of the others. Sheets, probably more than anything else, is the second most used feature of the Google suite that I'm aware of for like normal people day in and day out, right? All right, so let's go ahead and we'll just get this party started, right? Let me see. Was there any warning? I know there's no special cases I need to warn you about for this one. This is, okay, no, there is no. So I am recording this at the beginning of September in 2022. This feature is rolling out. It'll probably take a couple of weeks for everybody to have it. So if you try this and it doesn't work, try again in a week or so and it'll probably be there. And that's really the only thing I had to warn you about. Okay, so let's go and take a look here. Should we do this as picture in picture? Yeah, maybe not. Okay, so this is your basic Google Doc kind of layout. I was going to resize it, but I'm not going to. Okay, so this is just a sample document that I put together. Now, the key to this, let me just come back for a second. The key to this is that there's more than one ways to do it, right? Which is typical in the web world and also in the software world, everybody tends to pick their favorite and that becomes the only thing. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do it. But just know that, you don't have to. It's just an option. That's how we're going to phrase this. Okay. So when you're in here and you're typing along, right? So we'll do a nice, little hello world, because that's traditional. And, you've got your basic stuff up here. You can come up here and you can, do the usual formatting on it, or you can manually change it, all that kind of stuff, right? So if we do this, we can make it bigger, we can make it bold, all that kind of stuff. So all the stuff that you're used to being able to do, you can do here. So the first trick, all right, so the way people have been doing it, let's start there. So the traditional way to do it right now is that you go to something like this and you go in here and maybe you grab, I've never even seen this one before, person in suit levitating. You'd come here and then you would paste it, right? It works, but it's a lot of extra steps. You have to have something else open. And of course, there's lots of places to do this. You can go to a site like this. You can go to a site like this. You could just go to the Unicode site and pull. So there's, a lot of different places you can go. And if you're just curious about them, like, you can go and check them out here and see. Like, I like this one because it shows you the differences in how it displays depending on the environment that you're in. But if you're not that hardcore about it and you just want to get it done, that's fine too. So that would be the traditional method. Okay, and then we'll say, just to show you that it's okay. And then if you decide you didn't want bold, all that, you can change all that kind of stuff. If you just want to do an insert and you're a menu kind of person, you could come up to insert and you could come here and you can select emoji. However, there's what I consider to be a cooler way to do this, mainly because if you're in a document mode, right, if you're working on a document, the odds are pretty good that your hands are on the keyboard. So I am a big fan of keyboard shortcuts when I'm writing, right, when I'm typing, because it means I don't have to, I usually have my stylus. This is what I use in place of a mouse. I have a stylus and a Wacom keyboard for anybody who's new here. I don't really use a mouse. I always have one around for, an emergency in case the cable dies on my tablet, but most of the time I am using this. But even so, like even when I'm typing, like I'm typing this here, I always have this in my hand, which is probably not good for the carpal tunnel, but I always have the stylus in my hand. So that said, I'm going to show you the way I do this. The insert option, totally viable, but I'm going to show you the shortcut that I use, because this shortcut actually opens up a world of other things, and I've actually done other videos on this. But the secret sauce right now in Google Docs is the idea of doing the @ sign. So when you do the @ sign, you get this menu down here of other things. Let me take this off, of things that you can do. Now, the fact of the matter is, there's an even cooler way to do this, but you'll see whenever you go in with the @ sign, you can go ahead and you'll see anything that's new. And so what this does, I should probably scroll this up. Let me go back and do this way. One sec. Yeah, that'll show up better. And it already went away. But it always start off with that new. That's why I didn't do it in here, because I wanted you to see that new thing. But then you can scroll down here and then you've got the emoji. So it's always, anything that's new always shows up at the top, and then it'll show up in its rightful place in the menu. And then you can come in here and you can type, right? So if you wanted to say party, right, it would give you the party options. Ooh, I like that one. Oh, that one didn't work. That's not good. Let's try another one. But the other thing that you can do is if you know the name of the emoji that you're looking for, you can do the @ sign with another little piece of extra. So let me just get that going here. So if we do @ sign and then colon, and then you could do, let's try party popper. So that saves you the extra step of having to go and find it in the menu. So let me just do that again for you. So if you do the @ sign, you can come down here and just do the scroll until I just went past it and select it, and then search in here, or just click through and find whatever you want. So let's see, how about we do the fireworks for that one? But the faster way is to do the @ sign colon, because then that's going to give you the emojis and it'll default. But if you know the name of the emoji you want, then you can just start to type it. So for example, one of my favorite ones is the face palm. So that's how I've been doing it. Just the @ sign, the colon, and then the name of the emoji you want. If you don't know the exact name of it, then you're going to want to go in and do the at sign, scroll down, select emoji, and then you can search for it the more traditional way. So this is a game changer, absolutely. This makes all the difference in the world for making it faster. So just as an example, so I moderate on a couple of different websites, and we very often use a Google Doc in order to track things and communicate, share information, chat back and forth while we're moderating. Being able to do this in the document is way more fun because, moderating can be a little intense sometimes. So this way we can kind of ease up, and relax a little bit. Or sometimes it's just faster to go ahead and do an emoji because it kind of becomes a shorthand over time. So all of us, who are moderating on the show, we can quickly, communicate that way. Yes, hello, Marcus. Yes, that have I told you that that's my favorite, or have you just noticed because I use it all the time? So I guess Marcus has noticed that I use the facepalm a lot because it's just so useful in day-to-day communication. So there you go. I mean, that's really it for that. It's super easy, super fun, and there's two different ways to do it. So again, I'm just going to really quick run through the different ways for you so you can take a look again. So the first is to come up to Insert and come down to Emoji, and see it's got the little thing, and then it brings up the little search kind of away from the text, which is a little awkward, but it works. You can do it that way. The other is to just do the at sign and then scroll down to find where I went flying past it again, didn't I? To find the emoji option, and then you can select on it that way. Or let me just do this up here. You can do the at sign and the colon, and then you can go ahead. It kind of guesses what you want, but you can just go ahead and put in the name of one. Let me see. There's like the dance. We use this one a lot, and you're good to go. Super easy, way more fun, and a lot easier than having to change tabs, do a search, get it, cut, paste. This is much, much better. So actually, before I go farther with this, let me remind you, let me see which is the one I want. That's the one I want. I do have this freebie available if you want. It's just a content ideas document, PDF. It's got 130 content ideas for those times when you need to post something, but you just can't think of anything. Happens all the time. And this is not text specific. I mean, I built this for me, but I've made it available to everybody because the people I've loaned it out to before I did this are also finding it helpful. It's a game changer for me. Like, I don't have time sometimes to sit there and think of something. So I just shuffle the pages, close my eyes, put my finger on one, and that's the topic. So if you want it, go ahead. It's yourtechcoach.com/content ideas. It's there, it's available, and have at it. It's going to reduce a little bit of stress, and that's always a win in my book. Okay. So now that we've talked about how you can do the emojis in the Google Docs, let me just go ahead and show you real quick how you can also add special characters. Special characters, there's a couple of different ways. Like on Windows, you can go into the character map and do them. If you do them enough, you tend to learn the ASCII sequence for them, but you don't have to do that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to just bring that down a little bit, give us some room. And whoops, I will show you. Yes, I mean it. There you go. I'll show you how you can do that. So again, the pattern's going to look very similar. You can go up to Insert, and you can select special characters. You can also do equations, by the way, but we'll focus on special characters right now. And it will bring up this little menu. I think I can move this, yes. So you can get this little menu up. You can choose different things. Let's see, like you can also choose the emoji. You can shortcut your way through. Let's see what else we got. We can do punctuation. Sometimes those are happy, but so by selecting from these two drop downs, you can get all different characters. And then you can, I mean, I wouldn't really use the number. Let's try something else. Format and white space. That one's boring. Let's just do the symbols. So let's say for some reason you wanted to vote something down. You can just click on it and it comes here. You can also search. So you could say like up arrow. Let's see if we can find anything. No, you can draw a symbol and it will do its best match. That can be entertaining in a boring meeting. I'm not recommending that. I'm just saying it is a possibility. If you're not sure what you're looking for, you're not sure how to search for it. Okay, I guess I wanted a poultry leg. And just like before, you can also do this with the at, and then you can scroll down. and select special characters, and it brings you up that same one. So again, the special characters thing, it's like some people use them a lot because maybe the industry that they're in or the topic of study or whatever requires those extra characters. And again, you can use, if you're on Windows, you can use the character map. You can always do the Google search and copy and paste it. But the fact that they're building these things into Google Docs just makes it so much easier and so much more useful that it's just handy to have them there, and they're super easy to find. I like that they're being true to the patterns, right? So the insert for the people who are menu driven, it's there. But you can also go ahead and use that @ sign, which means that while you're in the flow of typing, you don't have to leave your work area and go to a menu. You can do it right where you're working. Stay focused and keep moving along, yet have access to all these other features. And like I said, I'll put as the end card for this video, I'll put the link to the video I did a few weeks ago about the other @ controls. And it is the kind of thing I just keep going in and just checking it because they keep adding to it. So do keep an eye on that because I think we're getting a lot more functionality out of that. So there we go. That is definitely my favorite thing to do in Google Docs these days is to make use of these extra little tools. Anything I can do to save myself a couple of keystrokes or time mousing around, that's a win in my book. And hopefully it will be for you too. As always, if you have any questions, any comments, if you need help with anything, you can go to yourtechcoach.com. There is a contact form there. You can let me know if there's a topic you want me to cover in the future. You can also schedule an appointment. I will do one-on-one help for you, and there's different prices for different things on that. So don't hesitate. Go ahead and reach out right here. To be honest, the best shows come from the questions that you folks ask, so I do appreciate that you take the time to do that. Oh, I'm glad that was helpful, Marcus. Yeah, like I said, it's not something that's going to revolutionize the universe, but for me, it's these little things that they keep adding that just brings more value to it, and it makes me more efficient. And it also makes my docs better. So, and I expect that we'll be using it a lot in certain places, say like, moderation. So, whatever we can do, we might as well have a little fun while we're at it too, right? Okay, everybody. Well, that is the show. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope that the end of summer, beginning of the school year fall is going well for you. And we will see you soon. I am here every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time on Thursdays. And also in case you're interested, I do also stream on Twitch on Friday nights, same name. But sometimes I geek out on there, but lately we've just been playing a game that we've all fallen in love with. So if you're looking for a little R&R this weekend, feel free to swing on by. That tends to start around 11:30 if you're interested. All right, everybody. Yes, exactly, Marcus, right? See, now you and we know the secret, so we can show off to people until they figure it out. I did mention it to the other part of K2, but yeah, it's fun and it's helpful, right? There's no reason something can't be both. That's the way I look at life. All right, everybody, have a good one. We will talk again soon. Bye.